So is there a time that is more ideal to make your verbal commitment? And when is that? And how do you go about doing that? And what does it mean when you commit?
The ideal time is when you know without a shadow of a doubt that that is a school you want to go to. Mm-hmm. That timetable is different for everybody. Mm-hmm. We've had a couple situations where there are kids that were raised in a certain family that both mom and dad had gone to that school, and that young lady happened to be talented enough to be able to go to that school.
They were born and raised ready for that school.
Born and raised ready for that school, wore the Longhorn symbol their entire life, tattooed on their back. Teasing. Yep. But rarely does that situation happen. And we've had those kids commit as early as freshman year, right? That is an anomaly. That's not your typical the norm, right? So, like I say, it's when you can, without a shadow of doubt, go, that's the school I want to be at. That's where I see myself, and I've got no questions back in the back of my mind about any other school. Yep. That's the right time to commit. It could be your senior year. It could be your freshman year. Yeah. But that's the answer that you have to be willing to give, because in volleyball, the nice thing about volleyball, and we love that, is there's a really good honor. There's the coaches honor scholarships for the most part, and the kids really honor their commitment. And I'm really glad to see that, because it doesn't happen in basketball and football. So when I say these to the kids, before you commit, it's like signing your name on that dotted line. Yeah. We don't like to see kids back out of an acceptance of a scholarship, because that means they've stopped recruiting somebody else in your position. Yeah. And we don't want to have that reputation as an organization. We don't want to have that happen with that person, because now you've just put a kind of a label on your side, right? That is she going to back out of the next one?
And other coaches may see that as a liability. And
that's right.
You. Yep.
And then that has happened. So I always tell kids, you know what? Do not tell them that you're ready to commit until you know that is exactly where you want to be at, and are willing to sign your name on that dotted line. Because, and I tell them, well, if so and so was to offer you tomorrow, would that cause you to hesitate or change your mind? Yep. Then you're not ready. Nope. I want it to be that there's no doubt in your mind that if God forbid something were to happen in your volleyball career, you'd still want to be a student at that university. Yep. Like, that's the decision.
Great point.
So the timetable is really different. The Power Fives, the top 25 conferences are really wanting to get the commitment earlier. Yep. So there's a little bit more head work done for the younger kids, the really talented 14-year-olds, 15, 16s, because they're really looking to get a commitment by your sophomore year. Yep. They really are looking for that. That's the trend. For everybody else, it can be as late as your junior year going into your senior year, and even your senior year. Yep. So if you haven't committed yet by the end of your summer of your junior year going into your senior year, don't panic. It's
still
very
opportunity.
Absolutely. And like I said, I still get phone calls. Last week I got 3 phone calls for a middle, that something happened, we don't have anybody. And that's a nice situation to be in too. Mm-hmm. But just understand that it's really it's your timetable. It's not anybody else's. You hold the cards in that. So even if coaches are pressuring you to commit and you're not ready, don't do it, because you don't want to have any question in the back of your mind that, did I make the right choice?
Right.